you everyone as always for joining Darko and I today. We're just going to get started, move right into things just in the interest of time for everybody. I think that this webinar is going to be, well, I guess I'd say it's going to be kind of a defining moment for both the Coach's Corner, but as well for many of our traders. I say that just because there's so many traders out there who are, yeah, just struggling. Most traders actually. And what I'm going to talk about today and what Darko is going to show you is how to turn the ship around using higher level time frames, just a higher level perspective. And it's much, much easier than you might think in terms of what you need to do. The first thing I do need to do though is I always give the disclaimer. This is a throwback from my days when I was a futures broker, and this was drummed into our head, and I think it's good. But anyway, here we go. Excuse me. The products and ideas referenced at this site are analytical tools only and are not intended to replace individual research or licensed investment advice. Unique experiences and past performances do not guarantee future results. Trading currencies involves substantial risk, and there's always a potential for loss. Your trading results may vary, no representations being made that these products and any associated advice or training will guarantee profits or not result in losses from trading. Never ever use anything other than risk capital for trading. Pretty obvious, I hope. You know, I want to kind of start off because we have both past members listening to this and new members who don't know anything about us or what we do. So before we get Darko on here, I do need to share our philosophy a little bit on how we trade and our approach, because what we do needs to make sense. Needs to make sense to each of you who might want to become more involved with this or whatever. And obviously you need to know about us and what we do. Here's the reality. Most people don't have the time that's required to be a day trader or a scalper. We all have busy lives, whether it's, you know, whatever, kids, jobs, your family, a hobby, whatever, an activity that you do. It's extremely difficult for the vast majority of people to spend the time that's necessary trading short term. And I think that a lot of people are under the false illusion that you can just jump into the markets when it's convenient for them and snag a few pips out of the market. Okay, and just you know, take your pips and be done for the day. Well, how nice that would be. But the markets don't work on your time, do they? They work on their own time. So maybe you've had this experience where you know, saw a great setup, but you had to go to bed, or for whatever reason you weren't able to be at your charts, so you missed the trade, which turns out to be a smashing win, of course, right? You know, and then of course, you know, Murphy's Law kicks in, and the next trade that you do take is a losing trade. So you catch the loser and you miss the winner. I mean, that's just a hypothetical, something that can happen, right? And when that happens, it just triggers a very, I don't know, negative, bad, poisonous psychological cycle in your brain. It's upsetting, you know. It just, when that happens, it's not nice. It causes you to be jaded about this whole trading thing, and you'll probably quit. And we're here to tell you that this does not have to happen, okay? And I do want to say too, you know, we're talking about higher time frame trading, but I want to be quick to say that scalping or day trading can be very lucrative if you have the time and the proper mentality and the right skill set, especially for scalping, because you need to be there. You got to be right on these trades. You got to monitor them, and you've got to have the experience and the expertise and the time necessary, right, to handle that. And we have some very good scalpers and day traders among our Coach's Corner members. So, you know, but they're members who are able to have access to their computers throughout the active session. And if you're really able to do this and you're really good at it, you can make some nice pips on a consistent basis. But let's be honest, most people simply don't have time. And I know that because that's what I'm told by most people who quit. I usually ask, you know, why are you getting up on this or whatever? And I just like an honest answer from them. And that's the absolute number one thing here that I hear all the time, okay? So the big question is, how can you get around this time issue? Well, let's get into what you can do to start capturing some very nice trades and without having to be at your computer hardly at all. And the easiest way to do this is to move to more of a swing trading or position trading approach, okay, using higher time frames. I got to tell you that Darko has absolutely nailed some very effective ways to capture these kind of trades. And just stay tuned because he's going to come on here and he's going to show you some of them and how they set up and what's going on with them. So first of all, in late August, we conducted a webinar where we showcased our advanced candle action trading, ACAT as we call it, which is really nice because you don't do anything until the end of the day for day trading, or for longer term trading, it could be the end of the week or the end of the month, or for scalping, it could be the end of a 4-hour candle. So whatever style you're trading, okay? And of course, Darko points out these trades, these day trades and higher time frame trades to our members every single day when he spots them. And for longer term trading, you know, we can look at ACATs on higher time frames. Like I say, it could be the weekly or the monthly. Sometimes you can actually use a daily ACAT trade to get ourselves into a swing trade or position trade. Now, here's something that that can happen. Just consider this. There are times when price will hit a great level of support resistance on a higher time frame, and it'll reverse and just keep going. No ACAT setup, no intraday setup, nothing. Okay. Well, we now have an entry method for taking these trades right away without waiting for confirmation. And these trades can be amazing. And Darko rolled that out for our members at the beginning of October. Okay. And there's nothing new, by the way, in terms of our approach, which is trading at key levels of support resistance. Just an entry technique based off the higher time frame support resistance level. So again, like we're suggesting that the solution to turning your trading to the positive is just to slow everything down. Trade less. Trade at higher time frame levels. And by the way, trading less and slowing it down usually will make more pips. Kind of a paradox, right? You think that if you're at your computer more that you're going to do better. It's the opposite. Listen, think about this. If you try to, say you try to trade every single day, whenever you can, and at the end of the month, maybe you made 100 pips or 200 pips, whatever the result. Compare that to taking just 1 or 2 trades per week or every second week. I'm telling you, you don't have to trade a lot, as you're going to see, where you don't have to be glued to your computer all day and you make the same amount of pips. I mean, obviously, it's far easier to take the longer term approach, and most importantly, it's far less stressful. And of course, there's no comparison in terms of time required to be at your computer. Now, I know that this longer term, longer term swing trading style approach is a bit of a departure from how the Coach's Corner has been run since 2006. But first of all, what has never changed since day one is the fact that anything I've ever shown revolves around trading at key levels of support resistance. So, Dim, I was talking to you earlier. He's one of our attendees here today about it. And you remember back in that 2006 or 7 when it was, I talked about support resistance. It was this, we still use it. But learning to trade the Darko style here is nothing that is completely different or anything like that. Okay, it's just another way to trade at support resistance that slows things down and picks up some very nice price moves and very consistently. Okay, there are absolutely no indicators involved with what we do, just naked charts, because it's all you need. And the other thing to keep in mind is that the trading approach that we use, as I mentioned, is totally scalable. What Darko shows in his PMAs for the higher time frame trading is the same as the approach that our scalp traders and our day traders use. So if you really do have the time and the inclination to trade short term, go for it. You can do that. Last week we have a guy in our CC Skype chat lounge. He's a really good scalper. This guy took a 250 pip profit last week on what started out as a scalp, because he's learned how to read price action and what's going on as well, and he just does a great job of it. So anyway, Darko is going to come on here now. Here he is, and he's going to go through a couple of these kind of trades so that you guys can see exactly how they set up. Here's the thing, and just keep this in mind. Darko does all the heavy lifting for our members, right? He scans through his charts every single day, which he's been doing for over 2 years now. Most people can't do that for 2 days. Honestly, I'm not trying to be funny about that. And then he lets our members know which trade setups he's looking for, which ones are the juicy ones that are really well set up. So anyway, Darko, are you on here?
Sure, I'm here.
Okay.
I hope the sound is okay.
It sounds good. I'm going to make you the presenter right now.
Yeah, thank you.
Here, there you go.
Let's see here. Let me know when you guys see my screen. Okay.
I can see your screen right now, and I'm going to mute my mic.
Thank you. Thank you. And hi, everyone. Darko here. And nice to see so many people in here. And yeah, let's get started. Before I even start my part of this session, I just want to remind you all that you can actually follow us on social media for some free content. So for Twitter, you need to type FX Coaches Corner. Let's see if I can see. Yeah, here FX Coaches Corner is the site for Twitter, and we also have Facebook, FX Coaches Corner as well. And for YouTube, you search for Forex Mentor, and then once you search for Forex Mentor, then you click on Coaches Corner. If you only type Coaches Corner, then you just get somewhere else. So you need to search for Forex Mentor first and then click on Coaches Corner. And last but not the least, we also have a trading podcast, Forex trading podcast. You just search for Forex Trading Coach podcast, and you should be able to listen to our episodes. And I'm actually recording a brand new episode next week, so it will probably be done maybe around Thursday, Friday next week. So I'm looking forward to do that as well. So make sure that you follow us on social media. So let's get started. I had several options for today, and instead of like showing you tons of examples and maybe overwhelm you, I'm just focusing on 3 trades, no more, no less. 3 trades, and I will cover everything around those trades from the highest time frame down to the entry techniques, okay, without holding anything back. So we start with the CAD yen, okay? And by the way, I have, as you all know, I have a strategy lab where I do some back testing and find these setups in the background, because these setups was never meant to be presented in Coach's Corner to start with, because those were just for me, because I'm very busy doing the live coaching and tons of other stuff. So I just want to find a way for me to take some trades without micromanaging, babysitting, or you need to just be around your computer all the time, because we are all busy. Like, tell me someone that you know that don't have any obligations. So I want to spend as little time as possible in front of my charts without sacrificing my trading, okay? So we start with CAD yen. Let's see if my pen is working for today. Let's just give me 1 sec. Choose the color, black and pen. Yes, perfect. So this is, we always start with the monthly chart. Always, without any exceptions. Always start with the monthly chart. That's step number 1. Write it down, okay? So in this case, price was hitting this micro level of resistance. It's nothing major. It's a minor level of resistance. It's nonetheless resistance, right? So we are at monthly level, and the reason why I was taking this trade at the first place was this neckline. Okay, why this neckline? Because once we left this area, price managed to make a lower low, lower close. That means we have at least 1 candle closing under the lowest low. Okay, and price drops, like, you know, we are making a lower low, lower close. Price is making a complex pullback into that level. Okay, what do? Do you only shorten here and you have your stop loss and hope for the best? Obviously you will get stopped out to the pip and then price reverse. What we do is that we wait. In this specific case, I was waiting because this is a bullish candle at my level. That's not what I want to see. What I want to see is when I saw this candle completed at the week, and this candle did not hit this opposing level. Once we hit an opposing level, then it becomes a confirmation entry. That means you need to wait for confirmation. That confirmation might be swing break rotation or ACAT. Okay, in this case, we did not hit an opposing level. That means this is good. Okay, so I have this level, which is 82.90-ish, okay, 89-ish, on my radar. Then what I do is I go down to my daily chart, okay, and I see this level in here. This neckline is the same neckline on a weekly chart. On a daily chart, it's around 83-ish, okay. So, and then this was the weekly candle, and we did not hit this opposing level on a weekly chart. So what we did is that here is the level, this neckline in here, this specific number, 8300, is where I want to enter short. Okay, and how do we do that? Well, what I do is that we have this line in here. I go from my daily chart down to the hourly chart. Okay, and what I see is here is look left. Do you have a natural stop? Natural stop is actually something that Vic taught me for ages ago, and I have never heard this anywhere else. So this is completely from Vic. So a natural stop. Then you have to ask yourself, are you okay with this risk? If the answer is yes, this is your entry. This is your stop loss. We give it 7 pips. Okay, we front run our orders by 2 pips. Okay, when we are entering on an hourly chart, and we identify the opposing levels on a daily chart, and that's it. There's no need to micromanage or do anything else. So let's go back to the daily chart and see, did we have any opposing levels? Well, let me just grab my tool in here. This was the entry, and I'm looking at this neckline here because that's a no-brainer level where price could be reaction, right? So from this entry down to this neckline, let me just move my, I'm marking this neckline in here, okay? It's 96 pips, okay? And this level in here is both daily and weekly support, okay? And that's for 139-ish pips, okay? And we almost always like exit maybe 10 pips, or not maybe, it's 10 pips before this level. Just don't be too greedy about it. So let's just say 120-ish pips, okay? And the loss was, let me just go back to the hourly chart and measure the stop loss. From this entry up to in here is around 35, 40-ish pips, okay? So the trade management is obviously completely up to you. We are using the daily levels when we are taking those set and forgets, and obviously if something changes along the way, then we need to be flexible to change our bias as well, okay? Because this is right now live. This is the last week of the month. So for Monday, for example, we have brand new monthly candles. So what I do is that I go through every single pair we are trading beside the pound pairs due to Brexit, and I identify the bias for the entire December. And obviously December is not the best month to be trading due to Christmas and New Year. And this is what we are doing on monthly. The first day of the month, we are doing the monthly top down, where I share my bias on every pair we are trading for the entire month. So what is our bias and where might be the best way to enter those trades, okay? So let's go and cover CAD JPY as well, and this is also a set and forget. Let's see, a CAD JPY. Always start with the monthly chart, and this was a great example of how we use the monthly bias, okay? Well, this is resistance, right? We see this big, nice, juicy drop, and we had this candle forming. So this is a bearish candle, right? And this, let me just remove the clutter in here. This was for October. So for October, CAD JPY monthly candle resistance. We had this minor level of opposing level. This is a bearish candle action. Okay, I go down to the weekly chart, and I also see what this is the exact same thing that happened on the previous on the CAD yen. You will recognize it because I'm not changing. It's the same approach. In this case, what do we see? A weekly candle closing under this level. Okay, once we close it, this was the opposing level that I was watching. Price was not hitting this level. Okay, so now I was interested in this area, and this area was 75.47 ish. Okay, when I say ish, is because I need to go down to my daily chart and see what's happening. Well, let me tell you this. Wherever you have been reading books or joining other services, we all know this is like one of the foundational about trading. You know, support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. Okay, price is heavily dropping like no tomorrow, closing significantly, closing and establishing under a specific level in alignment with my monthly bias. Guys, this is super important. Write these steps down. Okay, this is not a rocket science. Okay, so in this case, I was interested in this level, and ignore this because we don't know this when price is in here. This could very easily do this and stops you out for a full loss. Just to make sure that we are on the same page, we do have losses. Okay, we have losses and we manage those properly. Sometimes we have reduced loss. Sometimes we have full losses. It's very seldom, but we have full losses. We have special techniques that we are using to mitigate those losses. Okay, by for reaction around a certain level. Okay, so I don't want to give you the impression that everything we do is generating in pips and everyone is happy and we are making tons of pips every single day. That's not the case. Okay, I'm the first one to tell you that that's not the case. We have losing trades. Okay, so I'm interested in this level. So what was the steps that I just mentioned for CAD yen? Well, you identify that level, you go down to your entry time frame, and you ask yourself, where is my natural stop? Like, what if this is just going down? Well, the risk is too much. There's no way I take this. In this case, you have this natural stop because this is ranging. I want a V-shaped or a U-shaped. Same stuff I've been saying for the past 2 years. Nothing has changed, okay? This is more the V-shaped, the U-shaped that I'm looking for. Well, obviously the highest point plus 7 pips is my risk. Am I okay with that risk? No, there's no maybe. Yes or no, because you can always adjust your lot size. If the answer is yes, this is your entry, this is your stop loss. Let's go back to the daily chart. Same steps that I just did for the CAD yen. You know, these are simple steps that will probably change your trading forever. Okay. Well, let me tell you this. Okay, you enter in here. Where's the first level that you should be, you know, considering taking something out of that trade? Well, this level in here, right? That's a no-brainer. And where's the next level? Well, there are several levels. You have this level, which is super strong. Why is this super strong? Well, because resistance. Then we have a breakout. Price close, establish, retest. This level, we go up again, come down, retest. Well, things might tell you that, hey, you know, this might be the end of it. Or maybe price down to this level. We never know. Therefore, you need to decide that before you enter, because once you are in that trade, you need to know when to enter, where to have your stop loss, and also where to take profit way before you enter that trade. Because once you are entering that trade, your brain starts playing games with you. You start getting emotional. Therefore, you need to decide those stuffs way before you enter. Okay? Regardless of where do you decide to exit that trade, this was your entry to the first level in here. Let me just, so you can see the number is 70-ish pips. Okay? To this level in here, it's 120-ish pips. And we never know, this might be going down further. And here's where we need to make those decisions, okay? And of course, I forget to mention the risk. Let's say, what was the risk in here? Well, this was the entry, and around 7 pips here, like around like 40-ish pips risk, okay? So that was definitely, you had the opportunity to take off some nice profits. So this was set and forgets, okay? So steps for set and forgets is the monthly bias, the weekly bias. You identify a key level of support and resistance. You go down to your daily chart, you pinpoint your entry, and you go down to the hourly and see if you have a natural stop. If you are okay with that risk, you take that trade. If the answer is no, you stay aside. And if you are in doubt, you just stay out. That's their set and forget, okay? So for swing trades, it's basically ACATs, right? We had a nice trade on Euro Swissy, and this is my last pair, then I'm done. Monthly chart, okay? Get my pen for you again. This is a minor level of resistance. Price goes up, and actually, let's look back. Price reacted perfectly at this minor level of support as well, okay? We hit this level. Well, this is resistance. Then good. What do? Do you just short? No. Obviously, we wait for some type of confirmation, right? In this case, I go down to my weekly chart, and yes, we have this pin bar. That's totally correct. I'm not disregarding it. What we did is that we took this pin bar in here, okay, and new price hits that level on a monthly chart. Would you say that this is a great level of resistance? Yes. Look at this institutional candle. Price, this was fresh. This is the first touch. This is the second touch. And we have, let me just remove the clutter. We have actually a pin bar reversal. This looks like a pin bar, which is the strongest signal in trading ever. So we have a, let's just make sure that this is a 382 pin bar. Otherwise, I get like 3,000 emails. Just to make sure that I'm not misleading anyone. Yeah, this is the 382 pin bar. So in this case, what do? Well, I go down to my entry time frame. So if this is a swing trade entry time frame for us is always the 4-hour charts. That's what always been, okay? And I kid you not, this neckline in here was the entry, and I told everyone you have several options. You put your stop loss above this high or above this high, completely up to you. Above the highest high is the safest way to do this, because then you are actually dealing above this weekly pin bar, okay? So this is the safest way of dealing with this. This was the fill in here, okay? And if we go down, go back to the weekly chart, you had some levels. This was the first opposing level, obviously, okay? And this is the second one. The second one has not been touched yet. And this is something that you need to consider, because the risk in this trade from this in here to the upper one was like less than 40 pips. Let's just say 40 pips, okay? Price drops regardless of the opposing levels. Price is like dropping almost 170 pips. That's like almost 5 to 1. So at some point you need to do some judgment call and make up your mind, like, hey, how much, you know, I risked 40 pips, I'm up like 160 pips, maybe it's time to do something, okay? And that's like basically what I'm doing on daily basis. Before London Open, every single day I go through all the pairs, and that is all of these pairs, obviously the currency pairs minus the pound pairs for now because of the Brexit. So and I'm looking at the monthly chart, weekly chart, and then I'm showing our clients the best trades for that specific day. And there are days when we don't have any trades. I just need to be very clear about that. So we don't have trades every single day. When we have it, I point those trades out, and obviously I show you basically entry, stop loss, and potential profit target. And obviously it's up to you how you want to manage those trades. But basically, I'm like defining what I'm seeing on my charts, and obviously what I'm looking at, and how I read price action. And if you want to be scalping, what I do, swing trading or position trading or long-term trading, you can do the exact same techniques for scalping. The only difference is the time frame combinations. So you can using those set and forgets and do those as scalping, or ACAT as scalping as well. It's just like you have a different time frame to enter. So that's basically the only difference. So I don't want to overwhelm you with tons of new information or whatever that might be for you, depending which stage you are in at your trading. And obviously I'm like dying to help you if you are interested. And this is obviously your last chance to join us for a very beneficial price, which Vic will cover that at the end of the session. I'm not trying to sell you anything, so if this is not in the cards for you, don't worry about it. I'm just trying to attract those long-term members that is actually want to change their trading forever. And those who are, if you think that you can join the service for like a couple of months and then you become a top trader, I can be very honest with you, don't waste your time and money, because that will never happen. Okay, I don't want to disappoint anyone. If you are like dead serious about your trading and you are willing to work hard for it, well, I'm dying to help you. If you are like, you know, get rich quick and you want to have a quick fix, you know, this is nothing for you. So don't even bother joining or wasting your time and money, because I don't want to disappoint you. Hope I made myself clear. And if you are the right person to be working with me, I'm more than happy to work with you and help you to reach your goal and to become a consistent, profitable trader. If you have any questions, feel free to ask those. I'm here until the end of this session, and I will be more than happy to answer those. Thank you so much for listening, and back to Vic.
Good. Thanks, Darko. Let me just bring my screen back here. Okay. Yeah, really good. And so this, I mean, and Darko mentioned about, trading shorter term, which I talked about earlier as well, and all that. Now, this webinar is really specifically to aim towards longer term trading. How you can not have to be at your computer, excuse me, all the time. So let's get into that. I want to talk a bit more about trade management, because let me just get this up here now. Trade management is one of the most important things that you need to master. And when I say master, I mean you like Darko mentioned this, you got to have a plan in place that you adhere to so that you know what to do in advance and how you're going to handle the trade. In the Coach's Corner service, we have a basic plan for stage 1 or stage 2 traders. Those are like more beginner traders. And then we have another plan in addition to that Darko posted as a bonus video for stage 3 and 4 traders that's more advanced and shows ideas on how to capture the big moves. Basically, it's the way that Darko handles his trades, but there is discretion in it, okay? And you need to have this plan with any trading style. So because no matter what style that you trade, we never know when price is going to hit targets or how quickly. Okay, so what you do, is you have that in place. What do you do if you have a swing trade or a set and forget trade on, but you can't watch your charts? Because that's what we're talking about here in this webinar. How can you do that? You can get alerts sent right to your smartphone. You can even have your charts on your smartphone. Most services have that. So what you do is, first of all, when you set the trade up, okay, you can have limit orders already in place for taking profit. You should actually have them in there. Decide where you're going to take them. Darko points out suggested targets for these trades in his PMAs. Okay. In addition, you decide on a level where you will, reduce or eliminate your risk, and then you have an alert sent to you when that level is hit. Okay, I get that on my phone now. So, and that's it. You don't have to be watching it, and you certainly don't want to be micromanaging it. Okay, just wait for the alerts. I want to show you. I'm going to move ahead here and sort of get going. But I want to show you what a few of our members have to say about the service and this longer term approach, because I think it's one thing to hear from me and Darko telling you how great this is and blah, blah, blah. But I think it's better to hear from people who are actually engaged in what we do and seeing the benefits firsthand. It just gives maybe another layer of comfort knowing that this approach is benefiting others who are using it. I just have a few of them here, and I didn't put down any names because I never asked them if I could use their comments, but they're all in the Skype chat lounge. You'll probably recognize your comment, and if you do, that's great. But this guy says this style of trading is making complete sense to me. I never thought I would fall in love with the weekly chart. The guy that scalps that I told you about before, he actually uses the weekly chart for his scalping. I'm not kidding you, and it to great effect. This guy here says, I'm new to this room, but I must say I'm enjoying the planning/waiting aspects of trading using daily/weekly levels a lot. The slower, more deliberate nature, where the heck I lost my place here. Oh yeah, uses a totally different part of the brain than the part used when short-term scalping, which is most responsive to addictive behaviors, the nucleus accumbens. Kind of interesting, huh? Longer trades with fewer pairs and learning patience has me up 229 pips this month. Never done so well. Thank you, Darko and vicnoble. And the last one here. Hi, Darko. Thank you for an amazingly detailed and meaningful PMA. Since you have started using the monthly and weekly in the way that you have recently, my understanding of price action has increased significantly. The endless number of daily necklines were very confusing to me in the past, and I've heard that from other people too. Where, how do you know which necklines? But now we're guided by monthly and weekly, making it so much more meaningful. And that gives me a whole lot of confidence to take those trades on a consistent basis. And I'm taking those profits. Super good. So I don't know what more to say, except that trading longer term off of higher time frames flat out works. And it is absolutely the best way to go if time is an issue for you. But I have to say this, nothing is going to work for you, and Darko mentioned this too, whether it's trading or it could be anything else that you do in your life, if you have zero commitment to it. So you do need to follow the teachings and the PMAs, and you need to take the trades. No point in just staring at them. Actually, it was kind of funny. I'll just mention quickly, in a recent PMA, Darko said to everybody, I don't know what more to do or say because everything is explained in great detail. The only other thing would be for me to get your address, fly to where you live, and pull the trigger for you. So yeah, we all had a bit of a chuckle out of that. Anyway, I sure hope that if you are currently not making consistent money trading, that what we said here today actually resonated. The bottom line here is that there is no point in kidding yourself about day trading or scalping if you simply don't have the time and or experience necessary. Okay, if you do, fine, do it, go for it. Everything we do is scalable. But right now in the PMA videos, the focus is on higher time frame trading. That's the most suitable way for almost everyone to trade. And again, I say that based on the reasons I hear as to why people quit trading. Okay, don't have enough time. We sure get that. We totally get that. We're in the same boat. Most people have a busy life. So if time truly is an issue for you, just trade the swing trades and the set and forget trades only. Just listen to the PMAs and just do that. You can go through the PMAs at double speed. You can increase the speed of the video, and just focus on the swing, the set and forget, and the swing trades. That's it. Okay. A lot of you, I want to just say, this became Coach's Corner starter members, which is totally free, and you've been getting a free PMA of Darko's each week, or the weekly trade wrap up from me. Like, he may not have a PMA, but I'll do a wrap up if he doesn't. So maybe you've seen those PMAs for some time now. I think we started them in about 3 months ago, giving those out. And the idea behind giving out these out to people is so that you can get a good idea of what we provide, what Darko says in these PMAs before making a decision to join us or not. They are intended to be informational and educational. Okay, they're not a trade alert service or anything like that. And there is not as much detail in the free PMAs as there is in the PMAs, understandably, that our members pay for and that they get every day. So hopefully you can see the value in Darko's daily analysis and you know, what we provide in the Coaches Corner for our Coaches Corner members. And if and when you make the decision to join us, then you'll have access to the longer term trade setups as well. Now, sometimes I cover additional trades as well in both my weekly trade videos at the end of each week or in a midweek video. And by the way, to get those videos, and Darko showed you that already, is to just follow us on YouTube. Okay, and if you just, do you want me to post that link, or are you guys okay with it? I think it's okay. Actually, you know what? Here, I think I have it right here. YouTube, right there. I'll just post it and then you have it. 1 second here. There's that thing. And listen, I want to do something here right now, and I'm going to make a shameless request because, and don't do anything if you'd rather not. That's totally fine. But at the end of August, what happened is all of our Coaches Corner YouTube videos were deleted inadvertently, like over 700 of them, when they shouldn't have been, along with over 7,000 followers that I have worked very hard over the years to build up. But so my request is that if you wouldn't mind that you follow us on YouTube, which I deeply believe will benefit you, because you'll see our trading approach in action and lots of examples. And as a follower, you'll then be notified of videos whenever I put them up on YouTube. And not only will it benefit you, but it'll help us to restore the reach that we once had. And again, this is just a request. You certainly won't feel obligated to do anything if you'd rather not. But if you do follow us, we sure appreciate it. I'll tell you all something very candidly. Darko and I want to, I mean, you know Darko's passion. It's just like crazy. And we want to be known as the go-to place on the internet to learn about price action trading. And that's not to sound egotistical or anything like that. We just want to give people the truth and a solid foundation so that they have a fair chance, right? Rather than getting sucked into some hype and outright lies about trading. And we want to provide all of this at an extremely reasonable price when you compare us to other services. And we'll talk about price right now, actually. Let's get into this so we can get this done here. I want you to do something. Go on the internet, find a Forex coaching service that does what we do, specifically what Darko provides, i.e. a daily roadmap of trade notifications. First of all, you probably won't even find one out there. Secondly, if you do, you can expect to pay anywhere from $177 per month and up. I've seen it for $199, for $299, and even more. That's what they are. Our service is worth more than that, much more, and in our humble opinion, anyway. You know, and yet you can get our service for less than half of what they're charging, which I'll talk about shortly. But the point I'm making is, don't think for a second that there's some kind of a relationship between, you know, how much a service costs and the value it returns. Paying more money doesn't necessarily get you more. And maybe you yourself have spent thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars on products or services that, excuse me, just didn't do what they said they would. But, you know, you need to be the ultimate judge of that. Also, remember that Darko notifies our members ahead of time, not after the fact like most others. Anybody can tell you what you should have done after it's happened. Big deal. So how's that going to help you become a consistently profitable trader? Well, it's not. Okay. And I'll tell you something else, just the honest truth. And Darko touched on this too. You know, you'll hear us saying all the time, here's what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Well, this is what you need to hear, probably not what you want to hear. Learning to trade consistently, profitably takes more than a month. Darko mentioned that just a few minutes ago. You can think whatever you want. Tell me I'm full of it. Yes, there are lots of services out there that will tell you differently. Go ahead and try them out and see how that goes. And we have tons of Coaches Corner members who have already gone that route and are now back with us and have told us many times that there's nothing else that out there that compares to what we do. And we can't guarantee that you'll make money with us either. And the main reason is because so much of this is going to be up to you. So you need to be flexible enough and honest enough with yourself to realize that, you know, what you've been doing hasn't been working. And if it's not working, stop doing it. You need to change your approach. And we believe that this longer term approach is much more workable for almost anyone. So here's the deal. It's almost Black Friday coming up, right? Christmas coming up. U.S. Thanksgiving, this huge holiday coming up this week in the U.S., I think Thursday. And the other thing is that the U.S. dollar is very strong against most currencies, and that makes it difficult when the payments are in U.S. dollars. So this is our regular pricing rate here. If you go to our web pages right now. And it's $97 a month for the basic service, and there's a 6-month rate there. And then the premium service is $147 a month. And with the basic service, you don't get Skype lounge access or any live coaching like you do. And then the premium service, you do, of course, and it's 1 year for $11.97. And you get everything in the premium service that you get in the basic service, except that in addition, you get the Skype lounge and the live interaction, which has like really been great. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to go back and offer that webinar special rate, that ACAT webinar special rate that we offer, the yearly rate, and the yearly rate was $9.97 for the year, which works out to $83 a month. Again, go out and try to find a service like that, like that we have for that price. Rather than paying the $9.97 up front, though, we've actually broken it down so you can make installment payments because that's probably maybe a better option for a lot of people, of $249 each per quarter. Okay. Or you can just pay monthly, and the monthly rate's $89. Okay, it's a little bit more than if you joined for like this works out to $83 a month. This yearly works out to $83 a month. If you want to pay month to month, which is still better than the basic. Okay. If you truly have the desire to make a change to the positive in your trading and you're willing to make that commitment, that's why we've done this. That's what this deeply discounted offer is for. If you joined and you quit after the first quarter, because this is based on a yearly rate, right? And you quit and you want to rejoin again in the future, no problem, but it'll be at the full regular rate, because like we're happy to come down a bit on this and reward commitment, because it shows that you're serious and you realize that you need more than a month to to truly become a stage 4 trader where you have a very good solid trading plan and you're consistently profitable. And we're going to run this offer till this Sunday, December the 1st, 2019, right? Now, if you still want to join, but you don't want to commit for the year, then you can we still have the basic here, right there. And you get everything, like I say, except for the Skype chat lounge and the live coaching. And if you have questions too, you don't get the live coaching, but send me an email, vicnoble@forexmentor.com, or just to info@forexmentor.com. I usually get back pretty quickly, like within an hour, sometimes a bit longer. Don't hold me to that. I have a life as well. And if you do join on this monthly rate and you want to upgrade to like the quarterly option or the yearly at any time, we can prorate your monthly payment towards the quarterly payment using the yearly special rate. Okay. So yeah, I'll just leave the pricing and links up here for you. We love doing this service, but providing it involves far more than anybody knows. Darko's dedication to helping our traders succeed is ridiculous. I don't think you'll find it anywhere else. So I've met up with Darko several times now, and I know what he's made of, and we're pretty lucky to have him. So we've tried to give more than fair value. We hope that you can join us. And thank you very much for attending. We really appreciate it. And I can take some questions now. So let's just see here. David says it's made trading more enjoyable and less stressful. Yeah, he's one of our Coaches Corner members, our Skype chat. Yeah, some people had to get going. Marco, you're most welcome. The truth is, just because most are not patient. Yeah, Christian just says, yes, it's the truth. It's just because most beginners are not patient. Yeah. Yeah, and so Marco, yeah, you got the link there for that. Okay, great. Hey, Keith, how you doing there? He just asked if he would like to do the monthly rate there. That's fine. Yes, it does. Marco, it includes the premium, it includes everything. There's nothing you don't get for the $89 a month. No, Keith, I don't think it's any different than the offer that you already. Actually, Keith, you were a yearly subscriber before, were you not? Yeah, then you're actually, your rate will be better than that on a monthly basis. We made a special offer for our yearly subscribers. So let me see here. Those are prices for the basic service. The prices are for the premium. These prices are for the premium service. All of this that you see here. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Keith. Appreciate that. Yeah, $89 a month for the premium service. That's exactly right, Rodolfo. Okay. Hey, Camille, how you doing? I'll use my limited Spanish and say, ¿Cómo está? I should have said hola first, I guess. Good to see you. Muy bien. Muy bien. Okay. That's that one. Keith, can I change my country for that? Yes, Rodolfo, if you want to change your current subscription, just contact info@forexmentor.com, and then Vic Young is looking after this. He can get that all fixed up for you. No, we don't email trade suggestions, Steve. That would be a different service completely. Because there's no way. I mean, geez, Darko puts these out there, and so you just need to log in, and actually you can go through them quite quickly. I think generally, Darko, do you normally? I've noticed that when you put the PMA out, you put the set and forget first, and then the swings, and then, or not necessarily in order like that.
Yeah, it's actually both, but we can arrange those. I always mention the set and forgets first, and then the ACAD, and then finally the intraday tradings. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be kind of good, and that way people who just want to go set and forget and swing trading will know right away if there's any, and then if not, nothing to do. Go on your business, and when there is one, you take it. Yeah, Rodolfo, just no problem. Just contact info@forexmentor.com, and Vic Young will fix you right up. Does that make sense? And Marco, hey, thanks, Marco. Good to have you with us. Really appreciate it. Stephen, hey, thank you, Stephen. He says here, I like these prices. I used to be a member, but dropped out because of the time factor. I know, you're not the only guy, Stephen. It's really a big deal. But with this longer term time trades, I am signing back up later tonight. Break time over in a few minutes. Oh, cool. Well, that'd be just so nice to have you back with us. I think, personally, I think this is going to be super suitable for like a lot of people, because time, you don't get that back. And I think that a lot of people are going to be liking the idea of being able to just, not have to be glued to the computer all the time. Any other questions? All right. Well, I think, you know what, what was the price for existing members? So, Greg, were you a yearly subscriber? I think you are, right? Yeah. This is the yearly subscribers right here. And actually, if you want the monthly rate, you can do that too, Greg. But it's not this. Our yearly subscribers who have been already with us for over a year already. Theirs is just $83 a month for those guys. Okay. Yeah. I assume Marco says, I assume I will get. You're most welcome, Greg. Thanks so much for being a member. We really appreciate you. I assume I'll get login information and Skype. Yes, that's true, Marco. As soon as Vic gets, he's got to enable you manually access, and you'll get that like in a little while from now. And then the PMAs come out before the London Open each day, Steve. And it varies. I mean, Darko's, don't forget, for him, he's in Sweden, so he usually gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and puts these things out for our members. It's like I say, it's a fairly labor-intensive thing here, but they're out before the London Open anyway. Anything else? We A-okay, and if something comes up afterwards that you thought of a question, send it to me, vicnoble@forexmentor.com. Christian says, I hope we will stick to ACAT only because Darko has too many stuffs in his brain, and that made me not to benefit much when he was a member for 6 months. When I was a member for 6 months, he tried his best then to make sure everyone benefits. You know, Christian, the idea is that you do stick to ACAT only if that's your preferred style. I totally agree with you. This is why this evolution happens. You know, we make these changes because of responses from our members, and it became pretty apparent that it was just too much, and it was too much for Darko too. He was keeping up with it, but there's a cost to it. James says, Vic, can we do a survey of what Forex providers everyone uses? I'm not sure how we do that, but I could ask, like the easiest way to do it for us, James, is in the Skype chat room. And then I know a lot of people use, what's it called? Somebody help me out. FXCM in the UK, I know is one. Oh, what's the one that a lot of people use in the US? Oanda. Thank you, Darko. Yeah, Oanda. Oanda is a pretty popular. Thanks, Christian. Yeah, I know that's quite popular. A lot of our good traders, like our good traders, use Oanda. I use FXCM. I'm in Canada. They don't have it in the States anymore. And yeah. Oanda is O-A-N-D-A. Okay. And Marco is with Forex.com. Yep. So we had people with them and they moved over to Oanda. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Okay. Oanda. There we go. There's Oanda. Yeah, thanks, Barry. Yeah, I'm really sensitive to sending out too many emails to people. That's the only thing. So I think that if and Rodolfo uses FXM from Australia, yeah. Well, we don't use the leverage that's available to us, Rodolfo. I'm not saying you can't do whatever you want. Our leverage is super low. Like our leverage is like we recommend risking no more than 0.5% of your account on any one trade. I know other people roll their eyes at that and want to risk, 2%, 5%, whatever. It's up to them. So the amount of leverage available is not an issue, but that's up to each trader. That's not our call. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. And let's call it that. We like to keep these to like an hour if we can, and that's about what we've been. And I really appreciate everybody. First of all, I really appreciate all you guys who are already members. Darko and I, just big thanks to all of you. We're very grateful. And to those that aren't, if you join us, we'd just love to have you with us. You'll find it to be a really, I don't know, like the Skype chat lounge is such a good community. They help each other. They talk about trades. Sometimes they point out trades that we might miss, and it's great. So it's a very, very good community there. I think you'll really like it. Everybody's very respectful and appreciative of each other. So good. Thanks so much, Darko.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, really good. And thank you, everybody. And thanks, Vic, for doing the recording and for all that you do in the back office. And we will hopefully see you guys soon. And again, send an email to me, vicnoble@forexmentor.com, if you have any additional questions about stuff, and I'll get back to you ASAP. Thanks again. Thanks, Keith. Take care.